Good afternoon. It's Wednesday, and things have finally kind of calmed down in the Decker household. We've gotten into a little bit of a routine. He thinks it's funny. Apparently it's not calmed down. Trust me. It's better than Monday was.
It's a different routine. So today I thought I would set up a stand-up desk at the dining room table. That didn't work out so well. I set up a bunch of books. I left a mess upstairs for Sonya. It was like 2 or 3 books off the shelf. All right. Anyway, and then so I got it all set up. By the time I got it set up, my arm was aching. So I don't know if it was my muscles. Sometimes my muscle groups get a little irritated and they start getting tense and all that stuff because I'm trying to keep my posture in good shape. So I gave up on that. Decided it'd be best to lay on the couch and just have the laptop only, just on a little like tray and then a mouse to the right of me. So that worked out the best. I actually got some work done, about 3 hours worth today. 2 of it was actual front-end development work, and 1 hour was going into work for a meeting. And pretty much
drove today.
Pretty much everybody was like, "What are you doing here?
Mm-hmm.
What pain meds are you on?" And I was like, "Well, I was gonna try to take nothing today, but I'm on a leave now." So
On a leave.
they all think I'm crazy.
Yes, Mr. Pain level 3 is not crazy. That's your new nickname, by the way. Pain
I
level
maybe
3.
had a pain level of 4 or 5 today, at the worst part.
Oh dear, I think I'm twisted.
And that was just like achy, dull achy, maybe some muscle pain. But once I lay down on the couch and get set up with the pillows just right, I'm fine.
So,
now. So
what are you doing to heal?
Some of those things I've been doing are like deep breathing, meditating for untold amount of time. So I'm getting a lot of that in. I slept pretty well last night, I think. I just remember waking up at about 2:30, and then I was back asleep within like 40 minutes. I'm probably going to start using heat soon to make sure the blood circulation stays good in the shoulder, but for right now I kind of take the monkey.
Best Christmas present I ever got him.
And I put him in my lap so I can prop my right arm up on there. That way I can just rest it and put my hand over my shoulder, and it generates a pretty good heat. Like I can feel it just heat up more and more.
But you've done a lot of research, right?
About what?
Online for whatever.
Yeah, well, different heat stuff. There's other healing things that I just don't have the money for. Athletes have that stuff. Crazy platelet, like they take out their plasma. Their plasmas, they add stuff to their plasma and put it back in their body. Like I can't do that.
You sure you don't want me to try? I cut his hair. For the first time, he let me cut his hair.
I mean,
and that's why he's wearing a hat.
I suppose I could go somewhere since I'm skipping surgery and see if somebody covers it with insurance. That's a possibility, I suppose.
He said his hair looks like shit. He needs a hat.
So I'm probably sticking with a sling, which
Not
is
loving my
typical.
haircut.
Sling for 3 to 4 weeks, keeping my posture good, shoulders back, straight up, whatever. Just no slouching. Take it easy as I can for this first couple weeks. I guess they recommend 3 to 4 weeks in a sling and then start doing PT, so I'll see how that goes. I might start doing super easy PT after week 4.
Squeezing a ball. No, you can do squeezing a ball right now.
So I can do squeezing a ball right now for just circulation stuff. And when I'm in the couch like this, I just take the sling off and kind of straighten out my arm a little bit because it's got some support. What else?
Melissa might be hooking us up with some EDM.
Oh, yeah.
probably starting this weekend, so that is helpful. And I'm not nagging him half as much, I don't think. I'm not. And I did a beautiful job cutting his hair, even though he's hiding it. Bless his heart.
I still need the sides done.
Hey, look, I give him laugh therapy.
Still need a little bit of a fade. That's all.
Okay.
I have those angled things.
I'm gonna have to call Esther and have her get. Esther, help! Please.
It's not like I have to look good for a while.
But we're surviving. It's getting better and better every day, I hope.
Take it a day at a time.
But Mr. Pain Level 3 needs to not push himself too much and rest and relax and heal. Right?
You ready to go for a walk?
You are not going to Thirsty Thursday next Thursday.
Yeah, no. Nope. Bye.
Want to get in the video? Are ya? Oh, you're one of those temperamental actresses, aren't you? Hey. Look, I'm here in the kitchen with the kitty cat. Oh, she's crazy. When you scratch her butt, she's almost happy. I just wanted to show you guys recipes for one of my favorite meals, salmon and kale salad. Okay, so step 1 is to turn your oven to 450 degrees. And while it's preheating, yes, you actually let it preheat all the way to the desired temperature. You then take the salmon fillets out so that they can get to room temperature, as close to room temperature as possible before you bake them. Roast them? I don't know what 450 degrees constitutes baking or roasting. I don't know. But I did go a little bit overboard on the olive oil. You put olive oil all over them and then season them. I use this seasoning. Excuse my wonky arm. This seasoning from Whole Foods, but any seasoning that works on fish will work. Cavender's Greek seasoning is really good. Anything will work. Also, I have found that these salmon fillets work the absolute best with this recipe. I get these at Whole Foods too, and hopefully with the buyout from Amazon, the price will go way down. But they literally have the perfect amount of omega-3 or fat ratio to meat. They're super tender, etc. when cooked this way, so they're really good. So what I'm going to do is, when the oven is completely preheated, and not before then, I will place these in the oven for 14 minutes. After they're completely coated with olive oil, etc., so it kind of sears and seals in the juices. But they go in the oven for 14 minutes and like no more. Immediately after the timer comes off, pull them out. Okay, for the kale salad, you are going to need the following ingredients: olive oil, grapeseed oil, a ton of kale, or not so much kale, depending, mustard, Dijon is best, pine nuts, honey, and all I have right now is Parmesan cheese, but ideally you would have the Pecorino Romano cheese. Okay, so I just put the salmon in the oven, so while the salmon cooks, I will add, the measurements are depending on how much kale you're going to use. With the amount of kale I have, I will add almost 1/3 cup of grapeseed oil. And then 2 tablespoons of olive oil. If you have less kale, you will add 2 tablespoons of grapeseed oil to 1 tablespoon. Ooh, this thing is heavy. 1 tablespoon of olive oil. So it's all depending on how much kale you have, how much you're going to serve, etc. But it's almost a 2-to-1 ratio. Grapeseed oil 2, olive oil 1. The next thing I'll add is a little spoonful of mustard. Too much makes it too tart, so I don't get crazy on it. And then, so a little trick. Always add oil to your tablespoon first before you add honey. Then the honey won't stick. So now that this has been coated with oil, I add almost but not quite a tablespoon of honey. You know what I forgot? Oh my gosh. Lemons. You will also need the juice of 1 lemon. I'll put that right there. Okay. So we have the oil, we have the mustard, honey, just a little lemon, and some pepper's always good. Okay, so you get out your lemon juicer and squeeze or juice the juice of 1 lemon. These lemons are tiny, but I think just 1 should be enough. Go ahead and remove this stuff. So I can add the lemon juice. Yum. Okay. Next step is to whisk. Whisk this dressing all together. Once you have it whisked and emulsified really well, you start adding bits of kale. Just tear them by hand into as tiny pieces as possible. Okay, so after I tore the kale into bits and added it to the dressing, I massaged it for at least 3 minutes, if not longer, with full strength, like as hard as I can, because the more you massage it, the more tender it is, the easier it is to chew and eat. And then, after massaging, gotta do a one-handed open on this. Okay, after massaging, add about 2 tablespoons of pine nuts. Mix that in really well. Then once I put it on the plate, I top it with actually it is, supposedly, Pecorino Romano. That's what we want. I top it with that. And this is the final dish. Bon appetit. Good night.
Good night.
We had a much better day. I hope you have an awesome day too. That's my sign out, Dave. You gotta have to sign out.
You sign out.
We signed out. Still videotaping. Testing.
Hi, testing.
1, 2, 3. Hello.
4. I think it's probably pointing at the top of our heads.
No.
That might be a little better. I still think it needs to come down a teeny bit. Okay.
I didn't mean to start. Show everybody how vicious you are. Show everybody. You even think you're. Look at you. Look at you. Your ears look vicious. You're a mess.